Bebop, boop, boop.
There we go.
What we just
Da-da-da.
Just get him out now.
Get it out of the way. What is that? Oh, the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
The truck will come in soon. Don't worry.
Don't you worry none. So it's SPX 2023.
It is. It still is.
And as always, I am Joe.
I'm Rusty.
I'm Claire.
I'm Kelly.
Kelly and Claire, welcome back.
Thank
you.
Happy to be returning for our millionth interview.
Yes.
The two of you.
It has been 1 million years.
Counting. This is the
Yes.
1 millionth interview.
If you're watching this, don't check the status bar. This
No.
interview goes for 2 hours.
Well, those include both formal interviews and informal interviews.
True, yes.
And who needs facts?
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
not what we do
feels.
here.
We're raw vibes
vibes,
today.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So guys, do you make comics anymore?
Yes.
Sometimes?
Oh.
When the mood strikes us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know you finished your Dirty Diamonds run. It's done. You
We
buried
did
it.
finish. We did kill it.
Yes.
We had the 10th and final installment of the anthology series with a book themed around death.
Yeah, and that was
very
last
appropriate.
year. So what the hell?
And it came out last year, even though we originally were aiming to publish it in 2020, but
That's not
something
how that
happened
works.
that year. So it finally got to hit the floor last year. So now we're really just in kind of recon mode, and we're trying to figure out what the next form of Dirty Diamonds will be.
I think, and I don't want to speak out of turn, I think it's an NFT.
An NFT.
Yeah.
That seems really topical,
Yes.
very fresh.
Very
Yeah.
By the
2022,
time,
Joe.
by the time we actually do that, people will be like, "What's that? I don't know what that is anymore."
It would make me very happy if that were true.
Yeah, right.
We pretty much had put out I don't know if we did the statement or whatever. But
What? Oh, the show?
The show
Yeah.
was just keep that shit at home. We don't want that here. And then it kind of fizzled out anyway, so
Yeah.
we didn't really worry about it.
That's-
And then they
that's
mentioned
good.
somebody on the floor had one out here, and it was we don't whatever.
Oh my gosh, I want to go find that. I just want to see it. I just want to be like,
It's
is this a
great
QR
investment.
code?
The guys, it's the only one in the world like that.
Oh
Wow.
And it's
Wow.
going to be on this thing called a blockchain.
Yeah, yeah. Digital content that is truly irreplaceable.
And you know what else is a kind of a block? A rock. You know what else is a rock? A diamond.
Oh!
Yeah, so I would be happy to set you up with my LLC.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
are,
Well,
We'll take on some financial liability.
yeah, that's fine.
One of the things we've been asking people is well, what do you guys? What is the
What do
world
you think
we
it should be?
do next? What is
yeah.
Dirty Diamonds 2.0 in your mind?
I mean, in my mind, I would wanted to see it continue on. And here's why. Not just because I want to keep what the same is, which is easy and comfortable, but it was a really cool way of getting new voices an established home in which they could set up their first little shop.
Yep.
Right.
So it was a brand that people could turn to, they knew, but within that, it almost didn't matter who was there, so you guys could pick people that knew or they were well known. It was awesome.
Yeah, we do really enjoy that element of it where we just welcome everybody who's interested in the topic that we're publishing a book about. And then, yeah, it's really just based on, what are you bringing to the table? We don't really care what your pedigree is or your experience. Just, we really enjoy your idea and we want to publish
We
it.
want the one story to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your idea interesting and are your drawings pretty? It's does the work look good and do I want to read
Wow,
this
so
comic?
how
And
can
that's
you
all it
communicate?
takes.
That's
Yeah.
Pretty exclusionary.
We've
I'm
printed
sorry.
quite a bit of gross comics too,
I was
so
about
it's
to say,
going to
what
be beautiful.
I define as pretty is wide and is really flexible and will change at pretty much any moment. So
But yeah, that would be my opinion, just because I really like the function.
I like that.
I like that answer a lot. That's a really good one.
These are also the things that should be our core values too. So no matter what form it
Your
takes.
mission statement.
Plus, I know
Yes.
how much you enjoy seeing all of your little comics children every year.
yes.
Oh yes,
I've
we've
seen
given
you-
birth to so
I've seen you
many.
talking to them, and it's just really nice.
Yes, we do love our little gaggle.
There was a girl at prom who was bugging out because we were talking to her and she was like, "You're Kelly and Claire," and I was like, "We are," and she was like, "You're Dirty Diamonds," and I was like, "We are," and she was like, "I love you guys. I love what you do," and I was like, "Oh my god." I remember being this.
Yeah,
I
absolutely,
remember starting out in comics and just getting into web comics and stuff, and you'd go to shows and you'd meet people and you'd be like, "Ha, I love you." So to be on the receiving end of it, it was just oh, I've come come so far. I've grown so old.
In those moments, and I've recognized this, you want to properly convey someone's importance to you in a way where they can feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just words. I want you to know.
Well, we talk about that, like, you meet somebody famous, and it's like, oh, I love your work, and they've heard that 50 times.
Yep.
Today. But you're like, no, but seriously, me?
No, but
I
me.
love your work.
Yeah.
Comic guy I met, and I was super jazzed about meeting him. And so what I said was, it's a big deal for me to meet you. And he was really taken aback by that, and he gave me a big hug.
That's a good
I think that's a
phrase.
really nice way to say it.
It was the time that you met Jim Starlin,
Yeah, I know Jim Starlin
and
stuff.
he was just being a normal guy. Like, I'd love you to sign this, and I was like, oh, no. Like, you gotta understand, like, your comics are seminal to his childhood.
Yeah.
And then that's when it kind of clicked, and he wasn't just treating Rusty like the next guest. He was like, oh, thank you. And it was just like, I wanted that for him because
Yeah.
it meant to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm sure this young lady was like, this is a huge deal for me. How
Yeah.
do I convey this?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a freak either.
And I'm also really bad at like meeting my idols. Like when I meet them, I'm like, I have nothing interesting to say, and I stress about it. And I'm always just like, I want there to be something that we can like say to each other in this moment.
Build a relationship with
Yeah, yeah, which I guess is also like very aspirational. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, I want to have some connection.
What's the thing you say after how much they mean to you?
I don't even know if I get that eloquently far in the interaction. I kind of just show up and I'm like,
Hi.
So I have a policy whenever I meet someone that like work is really significant to me. I don't say, I love you, I really love your work means a ton to me. I just have an innocuous conversation with them because there's no response you can really give to, oh my God, I love you and I love your work, because you're just like, thank you, and that's the end of the conversation. Where if you're just like, hey, how's it going? How's the show? How was the weather? Oh, did you eat that food? It was terrible. Like, you can have a much more prolonged interaction with people. We were at Mocha one year, and John Leguizamo was there, and there was like nobody in line at his table, so we just like walked up to his table because we knew the girl who had done the
Krista Casano.
Yeah, who had done the illustration for it's an autobio?
Yeah, it's oh my God, I forget the name of it. Something clown.
Y'all can Google it. It's,
Okay,
yeah.
it's good. But we like walked up and he like put out his hand and was like, "Hi, I'm John," and we were like,
We were like,
"Hi."
we know.
Hi,
We're
I'm
aware.
Kelly. I'm Claire. Like, we just talked about like, oh, we know the same people, blah blah blah. It's very casual, and in the back of my mind, the entire time, I'm going, "You're Tybalt, Prince of Cats." Like, you're Chi-Chi from Tu Wong Fu. Like, is this really happening right now? But none of that came out of my mouth. None of that came out of my
I
mouth.
like accidentally cool guyed him. I was just like, oh, I only know about this book because my friend did the art. Isn't that so great for you?
So you negged them.
Like accidentally, yeah. And then I realized, because I'm always like, oh, I'll buy these books for my friends. I was like, why didn't I buy this book from John Leguizamo and get him to sign it?
The
We
thing too-
panicked.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to be cool.
Yes.
We were that cool. We were so cool that I regret it.
It made me think. I was telling Joe with a few like famous people I've met. I don't really have anything deep for, and that's fine. Like, Carly Rae Jepsen. I was just like, hi, and we took a picture, and she's like, thank you. And I'm like, great, and that was fine. But the more intimidating was like Michelle's Honor from Japanese Breakfast, because like I love her writing, and I love her music, and I love her style and her design.
You wore their T-shirt here this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I met her, and I know I'm gonna have like 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't get into anything.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
You just have to be like,
I want to
hello.
have like 10 different 4-hour conversations with you.
Yes.
So it was just like, I really like your
That's
books
what you
and
should
your
have
book.
said.
I want to have 10
Hi, my
different
name's Rusty.
4-hour
I wanna have, like,
conversations.
10 different 4-hour
I have a
conversations.
brief.
And then she'd be like, please, back away.
Please no.
I have a question. Security? Like,
Yeah.
What happened then? You wouldn't get to talk to her again?
Yeah,
What
right?
happened?
Yeah, guess what? It was only the one time anyway. Go for
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
On this end of the table, we are earnest and vulnerable, and you may scare people. On that end of the table, you don't get a comic from John Leguizamo.
Yeah. One of us is winning.
No, I don't know that either of us is winning. I think we're just losing in different ways.
Different ways.
We got to shake his hand.
We did get to touch
We had
him.
physical contact with
That
John
is nice.
Leguizamo. So, I don't know. It's not a total loss.
I want to say, since we brought up t-shirts,
Yeah.
Yes.
I am wearing a t-shirt that was provided to me by one of you. This is a shirt that Rusty texted me about, saying it was so stupid that I had to own it.
It was so stupid.
And it's a fact. And this is officially licensed NFL Star Wars gear.
It is a licensed Eagles t-shirt with Yoda on it.
And at the bottom, which you can't see, it says, "When we will."
It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. It was official
Well, I
from
know
like the
that
NFL
was
shop.
the only team whose games aired on Dagobah, so
Yeah.
that's just how
They all by default became Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Yeah.
In that market, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think they have the energy to be Eagles fans. We accept the one person who lives on Dagobah.
Come on in, Dagobah. We
Go
got you.
Birds.
Yeah. Go Birds.
I hadn't noticed until you pointed out, and I'm very excited that you're wearing that.
I was trying to slip it in.
Like, by the way.
She got dressed this morning and turned around, and I was like, "This is perfect."
I know, I was like, wait,
Truly
I brought this
perfect.
as a sleep shirt. I'm just going to wear this on the floor today.
I appreciate how in flux your fashion has been this weekend. Because
Oh, yes.
you had the shiny Crocs. And you're like,
I
"Oh,
have
man,
the
this is
shiny
a prom."
Crocs.
Put your shoe on the table,
And I really
please.
appreciated that
Yeah.
you probably had shoes you were planning to wear to the prom. You're like, no, I want to wear these now.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, these are comfortable and
And they look amazing.
more shiny than anything else that
Yeah,
I
I didn't
own.
even notice that before.
Yeah, we fully subscribe to comfort footwear at comic conventions now.
Yeah.
Crocs are a big part of the game, and this year we've also introduced compression socks.
Dude, the compression
Yeah.
sock game is tight.
That sounded like a game changer.
My
You
feet
know the
do not
compression sock
hurt.
game is tight.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it is.
yes.
That's the
But
the
like
marketing
in
line.
both ways.
Oh!
It's tight. Parentheses,
One of the
both.
blandest double entendres there is.
My puns are all terrible. I am not good at them, but I do try.
So would you say that the compression socks have changed the weekend for you?
They really have. It's pretty wild.
It is a true life experience, and it is definitely something that will be carried with us to all future cons. So I feel like this is a game made moment.
I am all for, at this stage in my life, minimizing suffering.
Yes.
But before you were like, whatever.
Before you can just endure it, you know, and then your body starts to decay
body's like, nah.
more, and all the injuries you acquire are just forever. So,
Like, if we don't have to do that, let's
I mean,
not
I've,
do it.
Yeah.
I've had this paper cut for 3 months.
yeah, no, you don't
Things
heal.
anymore.
They don't tell you that in your 30s you stop healing.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Your body's just kind of like, aren't we just used to it by now?
We are constantly looking at how to be nicer to ourselves. Like
Yes.
year after year after year, how can we be better to ourselves through all of this?
How
Yes.
can we treat people better? People being us.
People
Yes,
being
we have to
us.
start, put your own mask on first
Yes.
and then help everyone around you.
But you brought a new comic.
I did.
Oh,
But bam, if we're gonna keep making sounds. Yeah, I made a new book. It's called Apricot Dumplings or Maryland Canoodle. And it's about a trip that I took to Austria with my mom because that's where her dad is from.
Oh, wow.
And when she was in her early 20s, she went to Austria with her dad and got a nice tour and got to see where he's from and meet family. So it was always like a thing in the back of my mind that I should do the same. I should have like the homecoming trip and be able to see the homeland. So I proposed this and went on a very regrettable trip with my mom. We do not travel well together. And I think traveling with her also elevated all of the underlying issues that we have in our relationship. So this is a travelogue where I was keeping like a journal throughout the whole trip. So I was able to reference like my exact journal entries throughout this and show you like front to back what my trip was about.
Now that's actually to me like very smart because I see people that just like do dailies and draw on their stuff, and that seems so intense and like so much.
Yeah, I don't have the brain space for that because I was also very emotionally overwrought during this trip.
But to actually like catalog the events and just
Yeah,
like, give yourself reminders.
because I started doing it just so I would remember like what I was taking pictures of every day because I would never remember the names of all these like German places. So yeah, this is very much a story about like mother-daughter relationships, but also at the core of it is that I never met my grandfather because he died when my mom was in her 20s.
Oh, wow.
And I never found out how he died. All I knew is that he had cancer, and then blah, 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 bodies had to be recovered from Mexico. So it was on this trip.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, it was a big blah, blah, blah. So it's always been this like legend, this mystery in my family because my parents are not very forthcoming. So there was one day on this trip where we're sitting in this little wine restaurant, and we got the dish of the town, which was apricot dumplings. Marilyn Canoodle.
Thank you.
I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly. And it was while we were a few glasses of wine deep and eating this very tasty dessert that she announced to me that apricots were related to how my grandfather died. And she finally tells me the whole story.
This is some like mystery machine question type shit. Like,
Yeah, no, it was a very interesting day, and
You
yeah.
gave your mom the wrong mystery question that day.
Yeah. How about apricots? Well.
And she's like, "Do I have a story for you?" So yes, that family mystery is also revealed in the contents of this book.
I'm really glad that you decided to use your family's trauma as
Yeah.
great.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a tried and true comics technique. Memoir
Absolutely.
comics don't exist without family trauma. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
and I mean, I've been saying in my bios for a long time that I use comics as a cheap form of therapy, so
Comics are expensive.
Shit.
What are you talking about?
therapists are expensive.
Yeah, but there's no comics insurance. You can get health insurance to help cover therapy.
Oh, I have such bad health insurance, though.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. I want to
No
get comic.
wonder you're not healing.
No. Please give me a doctor.
They don't give you vaccines, they just give you a little bit of nasty stuff.
Yeah, they just like give me a Tylenol and a saltine and send me on my way.
You get some Sprite, too.
Yeah, the electrolytes.
You get a clear bubbly.
So yeah, that is what I'm bringing to the show this year.
Okay.
How about you, Claire? You have
about
something
you?
new.
Yeah, so I actually put together this mini comic like in about 2 weekends before SPX because I was like, oh my gosh, SPX, and I gotta have something new.
True SPX style.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. It was like,
Very authentic of you.
thank you. And so this is my cataloging of my personal experiences with Barbie that were missing from the Greta Gerwig Barbie movie. So I'm 100% a convert to the Greta Gerwig movie. I've seen it twice in theaters. I'm having an awesome time. It's the best, and I'm so happy every moment that I'm thinking about it. But there's definitely very pivotal things that you as a small girl child experience with Barbie dolls that they did not talk about, which include things like headless Barbie and then head reattached Barbie, where because her head doesn't fit back on right, and so her head's all the way down at like the base of her shoulder.
Your drawing of that was very visceral for me, and I was like, oh, my Pocahontas doll.
It's so funny because it's like I knew when I was starting to think about this, I was like, okay, I want to do something for the Barbie movie. I want to get in on this fervor. I'm having so much fun. I knew I had a box of Barbies in my house. I was like, my mom sent me a box of what Barbies were left, like right when I finished college, and I squirreled it away somewhere, and I was like, and I found it in a closet. And the act of like taking the dolls out and like re-interacting with them again for the first time was just like, oh my God, so many memories. So much nostalgia just came flooding
It's
back.
almost like muscle memory. Just
Exactly. And it was like, oh, there's stuff that she didn't talk about. Like, she covered a lot, don't get me wrong, because the sequence of like Barbie sticking her feet straight to go into the car at the very beginning of the movie is just like, oh, you understand.
I had read where like the fact that she floats down to the car.
Yes.
is because no kid ever actually makes her walk down.
No,
They just
never.
go, like,
She just goes
Point
from
A to
one
point
way
B.
another. Yep. But it's been really fun to share with people, and everyone has been so excited to see it on the table, which is just like a thrill. Like, there was a guy who came up and was like, oh, I need to buy a copy of this. I'm buying it for my brother. He told me to come get it. And he was like, my brother's from Charlotte, and I'm picking this up for him. And I was just like,
Amazing.
I don't know how that happened, but yay. Yay.
How can
So
you resist
yay.
this phase?
Yes, right? There's a little Barbie. I will also give credit to Kelly. This was originally just a black and white image, and then she pointed out to me that, like, if you print color on top of colored paper, it just makes the color even more vibrant. And I was
that's
like,
so smart.
oh, that's
Then I was
a
like, then you can be
really
two-tone.
good idea.
Pink on pink.
Pink on pink. And now it's just like look at that. That just screams good times. Like, let's be
That's
real.
incredible.
I also didn't realize until you had stood it up how on brand you are with your vest.
Yeah. Today's my Barbie day. I wore my whole thing. I was like, nope, this is my life today.
Before we let you go, a couple of things I wanted to touch on. You guys are the head of the dragon that puts on the prom.
Yes. We are the Hydra.
Like, there is a group granted, but there is no doubt that you're the driving
The
force.
leaders.
And,
Yes.
the creative directors.
Yes.
The center of the hurricane.
Yes.
How did you think this year's prom went?
Oh my God, I had such a blast at this prom, and we were so excited to be able to bring it back for the
Yeah.
first time since the nonsense.
And the children were so happy to have it, which was just
Yeah.
so fulfilling to see.
And it was last year when there wasn't a prom, because we would all just come back out of our shells and we were like, maybe not yet, it's a little skeevy. But there was this like rumor going around that there was like a gorilla prom being planned, because they were like, no, we need the party.
Yeah, there has to be something.
So we were very motivated that people like want it and enjoy that space, and we wanted to be able to help bring that back to people in a new space, which was awesome.
worked out really
I think it worked really lovely. It was much more open. There was like pass through, and there were places to just relax.
Yeah.
So I think that really was a great opportunity for us to do something new with it, and I think maybe even better.
It was a challenging obstruction,
Yeah.
but I think it truly created a more creative solution. Like, it made us approach prom again with new, fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good jumpstart to the system, to really like bring prom up to a new level that I think like I've never even considered it could.
Yeah.
Like the dance floor, they actually get.
We've never thought you could even request a dance floor.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Marriott was, yes,
And
Marriott.
they just offered it, basically.
And they were like,
Yeah.
dance floor, and we were like, great idea. So we put LEDs around the outer edge of the dance floor to make everything glow, but by the time prom got going, people were dancing so hard, they had moved the dance floor like 8 inches in one direction.
I took a photo at one point during the night where I was like, why does this look bad? And I was like, oh my God, they danced it off of the center of the
Tony
room.
did an amazing job.
Yes, Tony Breed.
DJing. The desserts were great. I think everyone was like the right level of like thoughtful but intoxicated and just like.
And everyone was going bananas in the photo booth. I was going
Yes.
through all the photos last night because they're on my
What I
iPad.
like about the photo booth is people that don't really have an interest in the prom itself.
Yes.
Still want to come by and take some fun photos.
Exactly.
Yeah, because then it's just like you and your friends just
Yeah,
having a little
yeah.
cute moment together.
You get your little community to pass through that filter.
Yeah.
The prom.
I think that's great about prom too, is because it's just like it's the SPX core, it's exhibitors, volunteers, organizers. It's such a safe space for everybody that I think people who don't really feel like they can party other places party so hard at prom.
Yes.
I was
They're
watching
like,
someone
"This is all my
do,
friends. I love this."
like the Chicken Man dance on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is incredible. Cut loose.
So you would say that bringing it back made it feel like it needed to come back?
It was.
Oh,
It had
yeah.
a fresh life to it.
Although one story I will say about last year, so there was no prom last year. But what happened is she was talking about, so they put together a flyer for a gorilla prom at like a bar nearby.
Yep. And this flyer was produced like in the hotel lobby.
Yes,
Yeah.
like they slapped it together in Word, and it was basically like the information on the flyer with a picture of Shrek on it. And then they like printed 5 copies and just were having people take a photo of it with their phone and then pass it on to the next person, which I was like, I love everything
Yes.
about this. Shout out to Milk and Honey
Yes.
for organizing Gorilla Prom last year.
And being our true inspiration
So
from
the-
then till now.
So then this year we were handed this zine that is, people took inspiration from the Gorilla Prom flyer to have artists at SPX draw pictures of Shrek with their left hand, and then they combined them all into a zine called Left-Handed Shrek.
This is the most beautiful SPX
It
thing.
is. It's just like so many layers of SPX goodness on top of it that make this zine. So I'm just like, actually, not having had prom last year means that this exists.
It
and that's
produced
great.
art.
Yes.
So maybe you need to pull it away again.
Oh,
The children have to suffer so they make the art right.
is that parenting?
Is that parenting?
Guys, before we let you go,
Oh, you know what? Real quick.
what?
Quick prom note.
Oh yes, this glorious object behind us.
Helmet. Russ, when you pulled that out of the box, I was like, I was not prepared.
Yeah,
at
we were
all.
warned that we needed to be prepared, and we were not sufficiently prepared to see
I-
this in
I
action.
took over promoting his costume because it was so incredible to me. I knew I could never say anything that would be too much,
He was like, I don't want to overhype it, but I
but I can't.
And I will say the entire vibe of this prom was also inspired by MDT, the
Yes.
one and only, because
Yes.
we all got on a Zoom call to kind of say, like, what are we doing? What's the ideas? And MDT, in like out of 10,
They can hear me.
out of 10, just pulls out from off camera a like bicycle helmet
Incredible.
that is a disco ball and has like visor
The only reason I
glasses
found that
built
is because He
in.
recommended what he had.
Yeah.
It looked like an X-wing helmet with like a.
It was absolutely incredible. It was 11 out of 10 energy level. And we were like, okay.
It was.
We'll make a prom around
it
that.
was prom for MDT. It truly.
Yes.
He was the inspiration point for this prom.
Yes.
Although Joe, you get a lot of credit for sending around that photo of the silver tinsel, like. Box someone had built in the lobby, and I was like, silver tinsel, you say? Lots of backdrop stands.
Over there. So I took a photo of him so we can.
There we
He's
go.
looking cool as hell.
Excellent.
He's gonna appear in the video.
So we'll be
Oh,
like,
this is like his power pose. I got a picture of him last night in his helmet making that pose.
Do you know if anybody got the email about the prom and that's why they came?
I don't know if it came from the email or not, but I will say, like, literally everyone we talked to last night was like, oh my gosh, prom. So excited
Yeah.
for prom.
And we
Can't
came
wait for
downstairs
prom."
like from our room into the lobby, and there were already people everywhere wearing our paper crowns.
Yeah, those
we were
crowns
like,
look so
people.
popular.
Crowns were the hottest thing at the.
They
They
were
looked
great.
great.
Yeah. They looked amazing.
Yeah. So
There's
good.
still people this morning. January.
That was going to be my job today. Is I'm going to go around the floor and be like, how many people are wearing their crowns from prom
Yeah.
last night?
Because we also wanted it to be like, rather than like photo booth props or something, it's more like party favors that people can just like take the vibes that they need with them
Yes.
for as much as they need it.
Carried into Sunday and then home.
Yeah. Here, bring the spirit of prom with you wherever you go.
Onwards and upwards.
Do you ever think about how ridiculous it is that it is a prom? Like it's a prom at the comic show.
It was great too because the hotel, like as they were helping us set up, kept being like, oh yes, the prom ceremony and dance will be taking place at 10 p.m. And they were very excited about it.
Yes.
There was one of the hotel workers like taking photos of the room
Yeah, she
for
like
herself.
was taking pictures of like all the setups and was just like, this is really smart.
And she came by this morning and she was like, you had so much fun. Yay, prom.
Fantastic. I remember when we were talking about where Tony would DJ, she was like, this will be the spot. Look, you have outlets. Like,
She was very excited.
Yeah, my point though is it's just so ridiculous, but now it's a part of the DNA.
It is.
Yeah.
It feels normal
It
for it
is.
to be like, it's not just like the dance.
No,
It's
not
the
just a
prom.
silly thing.
Yeah.
It's now become important.
Well, I think it has an added costuming element to
Yes.
it. Like the word prong immediately means like, oh, I don't wear just like
You
normal
dress up a
clothes.
little.
I like bring this up a level, and like we gave people 2 days notice.
Yeah, there was not a
on
lot of notice
prom,
this year.
and they still showed up. Full sequins,
Oh, yes.
all sparkles. It was great.
Button-up shirts. It was lovely.
I'm so proud every single time at how much everybody wants to be there. Like they want to party, they want to be part of this thing, and it's just like I'm so happy. I'm so happy we
Yes.
can give this to you.
We're very happy SPX lets us do this
Yes.
for the community.
All right, Rusty, is it time?
I think so.
Let's
Wait,
bring in the
I know
mystery
so.
machine and Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Spinning graphic.
You guys missed it yesterday. This thing crashed off the table.
Oh no! Is
And
it okay?
It's fine because it's apparently made out of an indestructible material.
Yes.
It made the loudest noise you've ever heard.
Oh, my God.
Rusty started crying.
Yeah, it was very. very
Oh,
upsetting.
no. On
Now,
camera?
How are you going to get your quarters, guys? That's right. It's the big quarter shot.
It's a dump truck.
Oh, my God. Oh, come on,
Yeah.
poop out a quarter.
Now, there's only one quarter in there, but there's two of you. What does that mean? We need the backup look.
Oh!
Returning from last
Oh,
year.
this is rich. Yes.
Little quarter
All right,
shot.
you want to go first?
Yeah, I go first.
Yeah, hold on, little quarter
Oh,
shot.
that's pullback action. You pulled it back.
Yay, go home. Wait, does that mean I can send the truck back? Yeah.
Oh, I
found a bunch more
Oh,
my gosh.
you won a prize.
Oh, that's probably when it crashed. The stuff in there was like everything.
Oh, no.
Son of a gun, we got to watch out, man. People are getting their money.
Yeah, right. This is a non-profit, guys. Come on. We can't keep this money straight. Oh yeah. Oh, so when it fell, I jumped out of my chair to go after it so quick that I kicked my chair backwards over like a cartoon.
And this is all on camera.
It's like, yeah.
It's all on camera.
I can't wait to see this.
It's just raw
You can
chaos.
see Rusty's falling apart in your eyes.
You know,
See a man break inside.
Claire, what's your mystery question?
So the question is, what's your favorite date in history?
oh.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Although I see room for interpretation.
You would.
Okay. So instantly my brain is like, you need to do that line from Miss Congeniality. That's
Yeah.
like my favorite date is
It's like March 26th or something.
Yeah, because, but that's not my answer. And in history, it's so loaded. There's so many consequences to
Go with your
history. 420.
There you go.
Is there one specific 420
No,
that stands out above the rest?
just happy holidays to everybody.
Every year. Oh man. All right, my question is, which classic Disney villain do you think would make the best breakfast? This is a very good question.
I'll be honest. I wrote that question this week, and I'm very happy that you got it.
This is the
have
right
a
place
good
for it to have landed.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, my
Oh wait, I know the answer to
I know
that.
what you're thinking, and it's what I'm thinking, because I'm like, my brain immediately, I don't know if he's going to make the best breakfast, but my brain immediately goes to Gaston.
That is not
Because
what
I
was
know
thinking, but I thought that first, but that's not
That
my-
he eats so many eggs every
True.
day.
That's true.
And I love eggs so much. So he at least has access to the food, but he does guzzle them raw. So maybe it's trash.
But he'd be the best looking breakfast.
And honestly, I mean, he need a whole snack. I'm going with Gaston.
Excellent.
Who did you think?
The chef from The Little
The
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. But is he the villain?
Le Poisson guy.
Le Poisson. He's like a mini boss
I know,
in The Little
but
Mermaid.
but he is a villain, and he's an actual cook. I mean, you could also go then like the Ratatouille angle, and
That guy
I
was
started to say Ratatouille, but yeah, well,
Yeah, he can't cook.
Yeah, he can't cook.
He just eats
no,
well.
not the critic.
Right.
No, the guy
Oh,
who
the
runs
sous chef.
restaurant.
Not the sous chef,
okay.
yeah.
He's like chef up until
Yes.
Linguini becomes chef.
yeah.
But he also makes like microwave dinners.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to think of like who
And he's not a
actually
classic
cooks?
Disney. That's a
What about Scar from The
Pixar.
Lion King? Is that a good answer?
Ooh.
Okay, legitimately.
You know what?
crossed my
No.
mind.
I didn't
No,
think it
because the
was.
male lions don't hunt.
Yes.
Oh,
So they just eat. They don't procure or
I don't need
prepare.
him to hunt. I need him to make a goddamn omelet.
all
He's
he does-
lazy. He ain't doing anything.
He's pushing people off the cliff, and that's it.
He's got enough on his plate.
Let's do a couple more.
Ursula,
Ursula.
some kind of.
She doesn't cook. You don't cook under like.
I wouldn't trust
underwater.
anything that she's
There's
making
no
me.
How would she cook underwater? It's fire. What is she doing?
I mean,
She
she
could
could.
heat
Ooh,
it.
maybe it's like a sous
There are
vide.
thermal
Or like
vents in
thermal
She's
the
sous
fire.
videing, yeah.
Thermal vents.
Thermal vents.
She's
I love
boiling
that.
everything.
And sure, there are thermal vents, Joe.
Maybe she would make borscht, like
fucking
a
ocean.
cold soup.
Ooh. I think she's making like hard-boiled eggs only. Like whatever you can boil.
I wonder which of the fish the eggs are from.
Oh.
These are asking very solid questions.
excellent
what about
question.
like Shang Li from Mulan? Because
Oh, he's making like camp
he's a
breakfast, which can be very
soldier,
good.
So he like legitimately should know how to cook, right? But also he's like in charge. So like maybe he doesn't have to do any of those things.
No, he does not.
What about the hunter and Bambi?
Oh.
Ooh, I do hope that he's. I hope that Bambi's mom tasted
Okay,
good.
but you never actually see him. So, like, I feel like we can't make a judgment call because we don't know how well fed or ill fed this person is. Do we even technically know the gender of the hunter in Bambi? I don't think we
Well,
do.
yeah, when he shoots, it says, and I'm a man. Which I thought was an odd inclusion, but...
Yeah, they put it in post.
Well, like,
yeah.
do they use a pronoun in Bambi at any point to refer to the hunter? I haven't seen Bambi in a while.
No,
so
I think it
can't
just
speak to
happens, and then the
that.
animals are
Well,
real
no,
upset
Thumper
about it.
explains that man, the man with the penis killed you. And it was
Yeah, when Bambi's mom is in heaven and they're explaining what happened to her. They're like, that man shot
they
you.
audited the Bambi's mom's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys didn't see it, I guess.
Him
That's the
Hunter.
extended cut.
Him Hunter.
That's the Snyder cut.
All right, so you have to go now.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need to get
Oh,
back
wait,
into the
we
People
show.
find out about your comics.
So you can find Dirty Diamonds at dirtydiamonds.net.
Okay.
And then you can find me on Instagram, because I'm terrible at the internet, at Claire Catherine.
That works.
Catherine with an A.
Catherine with an A, 2 A's.
And I am at kellyphillips.net or on social media at kellypcomics.
Nice.
And thank you, Joe and Rusty, for having us as always.
Wonderful.
Yay!
It was a delight.
Friends forever.
always is.
Pleasure was all ours.
Let's do it. Let's hang up.